Hey there people, welcome back. So let's discuss about enum in this demonstration video. So what is enum in Java? So enum is basically a sort of class in Java. So where you actually put constant attributes which are kinda universally truth and you never gonna change that, or at least not quite often. So that is basically enum. So the definition itself is pretty straightforward, and as I have already said that the attributes which are universally constant, or you're not gonna change that quite often. So if you ever encountered this scenario, then you could consider using enum. Okay, so another question arises, what are the differences between enum and class? So first off, in order to declare enum type, you have to use the keyword enum instead of class, and also the attributes that you are gonna declare inside an enum are static, public, static, and final. So you will not be able to change the access modifier to private or something else if you are using enum type. So we're gonna see that in our demonstration. Okay, so let's discuss about some other aspects. Then we're gonna look at some examples. So what are the other things to know about the enum? So basically enum actually can implement interfaces, but it cannot extend another class, okay? Or neither other classes can extend an enum, okay? So just remind that we're gonna see all that in a while. So these are the the major things actually you need to know about enum. Okay, so now dig into the examples. So let's say we have a class called enum demo where we are gonna declare an enum type. So how we can do that? We can do that using an enum keyword. Let's say weekday. Okay. So as I've said that the best use case for using an enum is that you have the constant sort of data that are universally constant. Okay, so for example, days of the week, or months of a year, or deck of a card. Okay, so these are the few examples of where actually you can implement an enum. Okay, so let's say we have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm not sure if I spelled it wrong, but I Friday. Okay, so we have actually declared an enum successfully, which is called weekday. Okay, so now let's say we have a main class, main method, sorry, and we're gonna print a value from a weekday. So uh, Friday. So let's try to execute this code. This is pretty straightforward, where we get the value Friday for the constant value private Friday. Okay. So this is a hello world sort of example. So I would like to take it a little further. So instead of doing it this way, let's um, make some validations. For example, let's declare a type, or declare a variable of type weekday. So let's say is equal to, let's say, weekday dot Saturday. So let's say if um, weekday is equal to Saturday, let's print out something, right? Mm, let's say this is a weekend. This is a weekend, and else we're gonna print out something like not Saturday. So if you execute this, okay, this is a weekend since we have the input Saturday here. So how about we change this value to Friday? So as expected, it's gonna print the not Saturday. Okay. So how about writing a switch case statement? Okay. So how do we do that? So let's say we have this, which takes in um, weekday, and we have case here. Case is Saturday. It's gonna print out something like uh, weekend. I'm gonna keep it really short, and I'm gonna copy this several times. Um, mm, mm, mm. Okay, Friday is a lazy day. Okay, so weekend, and we have Sunday, which means fun day. Then we have Monday. This is a bad day. Then we have Tuesday. Um, a busy day. And we have Wednesday. Let's put something else. Then we have Thursday. Mm, Okay, so we have something like this. Okay, so when we have this input Friday, so we are expecting this to print the default value, right? Friday is a lazy day. So let's do this. Okay. And if we change this to something else, like Sunday, it's gonna print out fun day. Okay, so now let's iterate through these attributes. So how we can do that? So that's pretty straightforward as well. So um, we can do it this way: weekdays. So we have weekday dot values, which returns the array of weekday, and then we can iterate like this: for weekday, and then we can see out basically. Okay, so I'm gonna make a print here, duration using for loop. So okay, and finally we have these values and also the switch case that we implemented before. So let's print something using use case. Okay, whatever. So we can also actually print these values using the stream, but in order to do that, we need to actually convert this array of weekdays into a list of weekdays. So we can do that. Weekdays dot values. So, values dot stream dot for each, and now we can actually uh, print those attributes, right? So we can also print something using stream. So now if we print that, so before that I need to actually do something like this, right? Okay, so using for loop, using stream, and using use case. So let us do some more complex thing, right? Attributes can have constant values. Okay, so for example, if you want to set some value to these attributes, you could do that. Okay, and they do not have to be the same data type for each of these attributes. They can be different. For example, for Saturday, for example, if you want to set an integer value, for example, 1, for Sunday, you want to set, let's say, true. And if you want to, for Monday, you want to set some string value, for example, let's say busy. And for Tuesday, you want to set, for example, double value, for example, 2.5. For Wednesday, you want to set a character value, which is a W. For Thursday, you want to set, let's say, false. boolean value, and for Friday you want to say something like let's say string or integer type. Let's say 1 to 3. And if you want to set a value to these constant attributes, you have to um, define a constructor. Okay, so only because you are getting this compilation error due to not having the constructor. So let's say value, since we are dealing with different data types, so I'm gonna set the data type as the object, and then gonna declare a constructor, and I'm gonna set a getter method. Okay, so now if we are, I mean, for example, if you want to, let's say, print the values, okay, for each of these attributes, you could do that. For example, for weekday, let's say, wanna go ahead with weekday dot get value. Okay, so if we just execute this, we get something like this. For Saturday we're getting 1, for Sunday getting true, and so on and so forth. Okay, now we can also implement static methods inside the enum type and access that from outside. So let's say we are willing to implement something like this: public static um, string day status, which gonna take in the weekday as a parameter and return a string. So instead of implementing something new, let's gonna uh, take this switch case statement and print it here. So even before going any further, let's add a validation. If weekday is null, let's return something like weekday can be null. And here, instead of printing out some information, let's return it. And we are not gonna need the break statement anymore. So let's do this. Okay, so we can actually now access it from our main method by this way. So we can just call it weekday dot day status and type in our weekday, let's say Saturday, and let's print that out. Let's run it. So we get here, right, weekend. So now let's say we want to implement an interface, as we discussed earlier that the enum type can also implement an interface. So let's declare an interface here. So to have a method, let's say it's the status, and which checks in the J. And let's implement that here. Implements print the status, and let's remove the static keyword and add an override annotation right over that method. So now actually we cannot access the overridden function from outside anymore, because you cannot create an instance of an enum. Okay, so how we can do that? We can actually use an attribute, static attribute, in order to call it, let's say, Saturday dot dayStatus Saturday. So you can actually use any sort of any attribute in order to call this overridden function in order to work. So let's now print that weekend, and for this one you can use, let's say, Sunday. So Sunday, and now you can print it fun day. Okay, so what I would suggest you, that if you wanna do something like this, declare another attribute, something like this, okay, and give it a value, some value here, or you actually do not have to do anything, just keep it as it is, and use any of the attributes in order to call it day status. So you could also use the Friday. Okay, it would print the same output. Okay, now let's try to extend a superclass from here. Let's say we have a class here, class A. Let's try to extend it from here. It will give you a compilation error, since actually we cannot uh, extend any class from enum type, and also enum type cannot be extended from a class. Okay, so that's all about the enum type. I hope that you understood some of the basics of enum and why you should use it and how you can use it in your application. So thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Peace out. Bye.